Defund the FBI. Right now, Abe. I've got zero. Nobody has any faith in the FBI. Whether Trump's in office, Biden's in office, I don't care who's in office. I don't trust the FBI. I'm looking at you, Cash.
That you were convinced that Epstein killed himself in jail. Today, 8 months after that, are you still convinced?
Yes.
No, I got way more faith in nerds. Nerds on the internet playing Fortnite, apparently. Over here on 4chan. This is who is bringing us this most recent conspiracy theory involving Jeffrey Epstein's. But when it comes to conspiracy theories, I'm going with those dudes. They batting 1,000 lately. But let me take you back. Let's start here. Let's start with 4chan, because this happens before the guy dies. Or the night that the guy is found dead. Found dead, right? And this dude on 4chan, he says, hey, I work for the prison. There was a whole bunch of weird stuff. Van shows up, doesn't sign in, doesn't sign out. Epstein's wheeled out, right? There's the trip van did not sign in. There's no record or there's no plate number. There's a dude with a green military dress. The van is then seen leaving. And he says, guys, I'm shaking right now. I think they switched him out. So that's on 4chan. And every reasonable person would be like, oh, okay, we're just going to ignore that because it's just some rando dude on there. We're not going to. Well, the FBI didn't ignore it. And the FBI, in under 24 hours, found out who that they subpoenaed. They got the 4chan servers, the web hosts. They got this dude's bank account. I mean, they found out who that dude was immediately. They got a grand jury. They said, grand jury, who is this guy? You ever seen the government work that fast on anything? Unless the government's afraid that something's going to come out. So they found that dude. They found him immediately. These are all documents that were just in the Epstein release. So a random dude on 4chan talking about Epstein being switched out got the FBI's attention real quick. So did they switch him out? Well, now let's go to the video games, because the video game people are like, we now know Epstein's email address for a bunch of his email, his login for a bunch of things like YouTube, like Fortnite, Epic Games, all this type of stuff. And one of the things that he used a lot in different accounts was Little Jeff, Little Jeff 1, boys, Little Island Boy Jeff. And people were like, holy crap, that account's playing on Fortnite. It was playing that car soccer game 3 days ago. So Fortnite, the X account comes out. Why would you say anything? Why would it? Would Epstein? Wouldn't Fortnite just be like, we're not commenting on people's accounts? Like we're not getting involved with conspiracy theories. We got work to do. No. They're going to jump in on this conspiracy, and they're going to say, this was a ruse by a Fortnite player. A few days ago, an existing Fortnite account owner changed their username to something totally unrelated to Little Saint Jeff 1, following the revelation of Little Saint Jeff 1 as a name on YouTube. These Fortnite trackers only display your current name and not any prior changes to it. We have no record of the subject email address referenced in the public document existing to Epic account system. Since the public document release, people have created Fortnite accounts with similar looking email addresses and usernames. Okay. So they felt that it was necessary to come out and say, no, obviously Jeffrey Epstein is dead because he killed himself. Right? Right, Dan? He killed himself? Cash, he killed himself? And he's definitely not playing our game. Why wouldn't you just let people talk about this? First of all, this isn't going to help. This doesn't help, by the way. Let's say your agenda was, he's definitely not playing our game. So let's squash it. A bunch of they, them sitting around a stupid meeting. This doesn't help. If Jeffrey Epstein is alive, if he's alive, and he's playing Fortnite and gets caught playing Fortnite from Tel Aviv, all right, it's only going to take one phone call to say, can you guys put a statement out saying that? I can't. This is but anyway, no, that's it. That's it. Internet rumor, internet wild. So here's what we do know. We do know, because we got the documents now, that this dude paid, he's buying V-Bucks on Fortnite. So he's got $25. He's buying Fortnite digital currency. So he does play he did play the game. And we've got another Epstein file with a spreadsheet with all of his usernames for emails and usernames for accounts. That's one of them. Little Island Jeff, or whatever the hell that thing was. Little Saint Jeff. Saint is the island. Anyway. Here is his YouTube account, Little Saint Jeff 1. There you go. The same thing that was used in Fortnite. It's over here being used. He's buying videos on YouTube with it. Again, these are all receipts that are coming out of this document dump. But the most damning one of all, and which is why you guys shouldn't just, again, if your purpose was to legitimately squash this, you should have just ignored it. Ignore it and let people talk about it. It's free publicity for your game. But no, you're going to go out there and you're going to talk about it. You're just going to make these waters muddier. So people were like, hold on a second. Let me look into the guy's account. Let me go through when he was playing. Let me see, when was this account? When was the Little Saint Jeff account active? Well, the Little Saint Jeff account was active all around the time that Epstein went to jail. And then the only time it wasn't active was when he went to jail. Wow. That's a bit of a problem. The play history for that account, which has now been made private, which could only be done by the account holder, by the way, or I guess Epic. I guess the creators of Fortnite through the back door could do it. But again, why would they be concerned? Again, so the dude who switched his name for LOLs, he's like, oh crap, I better hide my play history? Or did Epic hide the dude's play history? Either way, people already checked it out. And they already found that it was active until around the time where Epstein went to jail, then it went deactive. The play history for that account, which has now been made private, showed a drop off only once. It corresponds exactly to when Epstein went to prison in 2019, August 1st. Wow. Oh, that's wild. And then it gets nuked from the Wayback Machine. None of this is helping your guys' cause, by the way. If you would have said, hey, look, Epstein is probably alive playing Fortnite in Israel on an account, I would have been like, probably not, and moved on. I would have been like, But then Epic comes out and go, no, it's definitely not our dude. And then people start pulling up the account. The account timeframes match when he goes to prison. And then you guys start nuking the account information. Yeah, no, this isn't helping the situation. This makes it totally look like the dude's alive. The dude's alive and he's playing video games in Israel. There is no justice, boys. Ain't no justice. Ain't nobody arrested and this dude alive. He's alive. I'm telling you right now. But what an incredible time to be alive. This dude's there's a bunch of video game players out there going, one of us, one of us. I'm sitting there going, do you want to be one of us with that dude, guys? Come on, let's. But there you have it, guys. Epstein, that dude alive. That dude alive. Change my mind. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching the video. Support channel if you kept up to date on Epstein being alive and playing video games in Israel. Hit that subscribe button and make way, because the salt must flow.